Well, hello there and welcome back my fellow pixelators. What's going on? So about Lucky HD here, and today I'm loading another Minecraft pixel tutorial build on Naruto vs Sasuke. Today we're going to be doing part 11, so without further ado, I'm going to need a couple of blocks. Today we're going to be using a black concrete, gold block, and snow block, as we are going to be going up to the right and then going down so we can connect to that right side, just to make sure we don't spill over and we got the edge done. So without further ado, once you have grabbed all three of these blocks, we're going to be flying over from this area that we left off last time, and as you can see, there's like this one singular upright diagonal, and there's also like an up left diagonal with a bit going over as well, but we want to be flying to that one upright diagonal that's sticking out, that does have a bit connecting from it in the up left diagonal direction. So I'll place a gold block in here just in case anyone didn't get that. So as you can see, that's that little one single upright diagonal there just sticking up. So we're going to fly back in. And also while we're flying back in, if you could go and hit that like button and subscribe as well if you haven't already, because that would be much appreciated and helps out the channel a lot. But again, without further ado, once we have flown to this upright diagonal and you are ready, take out your black concrete, and we're going to place one going to the right for now. And from this one to the right, we're going to place one underneath, then fly up by one, so back up to this right corner, and place one to the right. We're then going to zoom out. So we're going to fly to that one underneath first, and then we'll come back to that one sticking up to the right after we've done this one. So, fly back to the one underneath. And once you've flown to this one underneath, we're going to place another 3 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do a bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 10 going underneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then once you've done that, we're actually done with that area. So we can zoom out, and we're going to fly back to the one sticking up to the right here, because that is literally all we're doing. So, fly to the one sticking up to the right. Once we have flown back towards this one sticking up to the right, we're going to do 2 upright diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second upright diagonal, we're going to place one going to the right, just like so. And do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place one going to the right. There we go. Then do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to do a up left diagonal. And then fly back in the bottom right diagonal direction. So back to here where we just did the up left diagonal from. And we're going to place one to the right of here. We're then going to place one on the top. We're then going to fly down by one. And then we're going to place 3 going to the right. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to place one underneath. We're then going to fly up by one, so in this right corner here, back on this line. And we're going to place one to the right. We're then going to place one on top. We're then going to do an upright diagonal. And once you've done that, we're going to zoom out. There's a lot of areas there. So as you can see, all of these are points we're going to go off. We're not going to go at the up left diagonal yet. We're not going to do that one either yet. And we're going to be going off the one going underneath for now. And we're also going to be going off the upright diagonal. So we're going to be doing these 2 on the right hand side. First of all though, fly to the one sticking underneath right here. So flying towards here. And once we've flown towards here, we're going to place 9 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And there we go, we're literally done with that area as well. So once you've done that, we are going to fly to that upright diagonal over here. So flying towards here. And once you have flown in towards here, we're going to do another 4 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And from this 4th one, we're going to place one to the right. And as you can see, it actually look like 4 singular upright diagonals there on their own. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then as you can see, there's a 2. But once you have done that, fly back to the end of this 2 and do another upright diagonal from here. From this upright diagonal, place 2 to the right, so 1 and 2. We're then going to do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right. We're then going to fly back to the left by 1, so back to here. And then do an up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, we're going to place 3 going to the left. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do a bottom left diagonal. From this bottom left diagonal, place 2 to the left, so 1 and 2. Then do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, place 4 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're then going to place 1 on top. We're then going to fly underneath by 1, so back to here. And place 1 underneath here. We're then going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, place one underneath. Then do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, place one underneath. And there you go. As you can see, that little area there has connected to that one that was sticking up here that I said we weren't going to do yet because we're going to come back to it. And once we have done this, we are going to fly to the up left diagonal here. So fly to this up left diagonal, as you can see, that's literally just to the left of it. And we're going to do two up left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And from the second one, we're going to place 5 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're then going to place 1 on top and fly underneath by 1 and place 2 going to the left. So 1 and 2. We're then going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, place 1 to the left. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, place 1 to the left. And then do another bottom left diagonal. And as you can see, that bottom left diagonal should connect in a bottom left diagonal direction to this one that was sticking up here that we did previously in the previous part. So I'll zoom out as well so you can see what we've done so far. So that's what we should be looking like so far. Once we have done all of this, we're going to fly to the one sticking up on the left hand side here. So not the one sticking up on the right hand side there. We want to be flying to this one here first. And once we've flown to this one sticking up here, we're going to do 2 upright diagonals. So 1 and 2. From this second upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. We're then going to do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place another 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. Then do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 going to the right. So 1 and 2. As you can see, that 2 that we just placed to the right connects back to this one that was sticking up here on the right hand side. And moving on from this one that it's just connected to, we're just going to place 1 on top of here. We're then going to place 1 to the right. Then fly to the left by 1. And do a up left diagonal from here. And there we go. Once we have done that, we're going to zoom out quickly. And as you can see, that's what we've done there so far. So I'm not going to do any more points there, because we'll be coming back to that one sticking out to the right, and that up left diagonal probably in the next part where we start to get the outline for the face done, because that area there is where the teeth is. But once we have done all this, we are going to fly all the way to the 2 that stick out to the right here. So flying towards these 2 here. And once we've flown back in towards here, we want to be going off the very right one. So the second one going to the right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 on top and fly underneath by 1. So back to here. And we're going to place 11 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. And once you've done that, we're going to zoom out quickly. And we're doing that little area there as well. So we are going to fly to the one sticking up on top. So fly back to that one that we placed just previously. And once we have flown back to here, we're going to do 3 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. From this third upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right, just like so. We're then going to do 2 upright diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And then what we're going to do, as you can see from this second one right here, we're going to do a up left diagonal from here. And we're also going to do an upright diagonal from this second upright diagonal here. So do a up left diagonal, just like so. Then fly back to here and then do an upright diagonal from here. So as you can see, we should be looking like that. So again, as you can see from that second upright diagonal, there is another upright diagonal, and there's also an up left diagonal. And while we're here, we might as well just complete the inside of the teeth as well. So from this upper left diagonal, we want to fly in towards here, and we want to do another up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 2 going to the left. So 1 and 2. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and from this bottom left diagonal, place 1 to the left, and do another bottom left diagonal, and place another 1 to the left, and then do another bottom left diagonal, and then there we go, we are done with that area there. And then once you have done that, we are going to fly to the upright diagonal. Obviously that's not all the teeth, we've got the other teeth on the other side to do, but we'll leave that other half, we won't do that yet, because we want to get to the end. So, flying to that upright diagonal that we did, we want to place 1 going to the right, just like so. We then want to do another upright diagonal from here. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 going to the right, this is 1 and 2. We then want to do another upright diagonal, and from this upright diagonal, place 1 to the right. We're then going to do 3 upright diagonals from here, so 1, 2, and 3. And from this third one, we're going to place 1 on top. We're then going to place 1 to the left. We're then going to fly to the right and we're going to place 1 to the right. And there we go, we should be looking like that. There is a lot more area actually to do there, but again, we'll come back to that. So from this one that we just placed to the right, what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 on top. We're then going to place 1 to the right, and fly to the left by 1, so back to here, and place 1 on top, just like so. We're then going to do 4 up left diagonals from here, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, which I need to place that back. There we go. And from this 4th up left diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the left, so 1 and 2. We'll do another up left diagonal, and from this up left diagonal, place another 2 to the left, so 1 and 2. Once we have done this, we're going to zoom out. Again, I could do the mouth now, but I don't want to do it now because I want to get to the end first. And if we are going to do the mouth, if we got enough time, I will come back to the mouth, because I want to make sure we get everything done here. So without further ado, we are going to fly to the next area that we're going to be going off. And we're going to be going off the one sticking out to the right here. So, flying towards the one sticking out to the right. Once we have flown to the one sticking out to the right, we're going to place another one going to the right, just like so. Once we've done that, do 2 upright diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second upright diagonal, place 1 to the right, just like so. And do another upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, place 2 to the right, so 1 and 2. We're then going to do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 3 to the right this time. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to place 1 on top, then fly underneath by 1, so back to here. And we're going to place 17 going underneath from this right corner here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And once you've done that 17 going underneath there, we're going to fly back all the way up to the one on top right here. And once you have flown back to this one on top here, we're going to do 5 upright diagonals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From this 5th upright diagonal, place 1 to the right. We're then going to do another upright diagonal, and from this upright diagonal, place 4 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then do another upright diagonal, and from this upright diagonal, place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. We're then going to do a bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, place 1 to the right. We're then going to place 1 underneath, then fly back up by 1, so back up to this right corner and do an upright diagonal. Once we've done this, we're going to zoom out quickly so you can see what we've done right there. So as you can see, that's what we've done so far in this area. And we're going to be flying back to the one underneath right here. So we want to be flying back to this one stick underneath. And once we've flown back to this one stick underneath, we're going to place 9 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And once we place 9 going underneath, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 9 going underneath as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Once you place 9 going underneath, we're going to zoom out and we're going to fly back to that upright diagonal that we did. So fly back towards there. And once we've flown back to this upright diagonal here, we're going to do 4 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And from this 4th one, we're going to place 1 to the right, just like so. And then once we've done this, what we're going to do is we're going to take out our gold block. And with our gold block, we're going to fly to the left by 1. So to the left of this 4th upright diagonal we just did. And so we're going to place 3 gold blocks going on top from here. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to take out our black concrete. And we're going to place 1 going to the left. And once we've done this, we're actually going to zoom out. And we're not going to be doing that area yet. Because again, I want to go to the end first. And this is like probably actually the most annoying part of probably the entire tutorial. Because it's not going to be hard to explain. But it's one of those areas that is quite thick layered in quite a lot of parts, because it's Naruto's kind of, you know, like his whiskers that like come along. And so anyway though, moving on with the build. So again, we are going to be flying to this 2 here, and for the gold blocks, you can keep them there or you can get rid of them. I'm just going to keep them because basically it's kind of there as we know that we've got to come back to here, because we don't want place on blocks, do we now? So that's kind of why I'm going to keep them there for now, and we are going to be flying to this 2 back here. And once we have flown back to this 2 here, do an upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 5 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 going to the right. So 1 and 2. We're then going to place 1 on top. We're then going to place 1 underneath. we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And then from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 4 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're then going to do another bottom right diagonal, and we're going to place another 4 going underneath. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And do another bottom right diagonal. This time, place 3 underneath. So 1, 2, and 3. Then do another bottom right diagonal. And we're going to place 3 underneath again. So 1, 2, and 3. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And this time, place 4 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then do another bottom right diagonal. And this time, we're going to place 3 underneath. So 1, 2, and 3. And once we have done this, we're going to zoom out all the way out. So we can fly back up to the top. And we're going to be flying back up to the one that's sticking up here on this line. So fly back to this one sticking up on top here. And once we're flying back to this one on top here, we want to do 2 upright diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right, just like so. But then going to do another 2 upright diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second one, we're going to place 1 to the right again. But then going to do another upright diagonal from here. From this upright diagonal, place 1 to the right. Then do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. Then do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 7 going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're then going to place 1 on top. Then fly underneath by 1, so back to this right corner here. And we're going to place 4 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 4 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're then going to do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 3 underneath this time. So 1, 2, and 3. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 7 going underneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're then going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And we're going to place 7 underneath here as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then once we've done this, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take out our gold block. And we're going to fly it by 1. So up to the second one here. And we're going to just place 1 to the right for now. So you can see where we're going to go off. So we're going to be going off this one that we placed to the right. And we're going to place another 9 gold blocks going to the right from this one sticking out to the right. So it should be 10 in total as well, by the way. So we're going to place 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And once you've done that, that should be 10 in total right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And once we place these 10 gold blocks going to the right, we're going to take out our black concrete. We're going to place 2 going to the right from these 10 gold blocks. So 1 and 2. Once you've done this, take out your gold block. And we're going to place 2 gold blocks on top. At the end, right one right here. So 1 and 2. And once you've done that, take out your black concrete again. And place 1 on top. We're then going to place 1 to the left. And from this 1 to the left, do an up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top just like so. Then do 2 up left diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second up left diagonal, we're going to place 2 on top. So 1 and 2. We're then going to place 1 to the right. We're then going to place 1 on top. Then fly down by 1, so back to here. And place 1 going to the right. Then place 1 underneath. Once you've done that, fly back to the one going on top right here. And we're going to do an upright diagonal from here. And from this upright diagonal, place 1 to the right. We're then going to place 1 underneath. Then fly up by 1 and place 1 on top. And once we have done that, we are done with that area right there. So as you can see, that's what that little area there should be looking like. And once we have done that, we can destroy these gold blocks because we won't be needing these. Once you've destroyed those, we're going to zoom out so we can see what we've done so far and move back to the next area. So once again, we are going to be flying back to this line right here. And we're going to be flying back to the one that's on top right there, as you can see. So fly back to that one on top. And once we have flown back to this one on top, we're going to place another one going up from here. And from this one that we just placed on top, we're going to place 1 to the right, and fly to the left, and then place 1 on top from here. Once we've done that, we are going to fly back to the one sticking out to the right though, so back to here. And once we've flown back to here, we're going to do 4 upright diagonals. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4. From this fourth one, place 1 going to the right, just like so. Then do another upright diagonal. And from this upper right diagonal, we're going to place another one going to the right, just like so. And do another upper right diagonal. This time, we're going to place 4 going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then do another upper right diagonal. And from this upper right diagonal, we're going to place 4 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're then going to place 1 underneath and fly back up by 1, so back to this right corner here, and do an upright diagonal. And fly back to the one underneath, so back to here. And once you've flown back to the one underneath, we're going to place another 5 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We then want to do a bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, place 4 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 7 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 8 underneath this time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath, just like so. And once we've done this, we can actually take out our snow as well. A quick thing we can do to check as well to make sure we go correctly, going up and down from here. From this second one that we just placed going underneath this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 6 going to the right from here with our snow block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And once we've done this, we're going to fly underneath, and we're going to place 13 going underneath from this very one thing out to the right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And as you can see, these 13 that we just placed underneath connects back down to this black concrete sticking out on the very right hand side. So as you can see, it's on the very right hand side, in line with all the light grey and white concrete and everything down here. So we're going to zoom out fully as well, and we're going to move up back to the top, so we can move back up to that upright diagonal up here, as you can see. So fly back in towards that upright diagonal, and once you're flying back in towards this upright diagonal, do another 2 upright diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second one, place 1 to the right, just like so. Then do another upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, place 1 on top. Then fly underneath by 1, so back to here, and place 3 on the right. So 1, 2, and 3. Then do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, place 1 to the right. And once you've done this, take out your snow block. And now we should just go all the way down, because as we've done that 13 going there, that means we basically did all of that correctly. And we should be in line here as well, because we've done everything correctly so far. So just go all the way down. And there you go. As you can see, we're on the right hand side and we connect. The reason why I did that 13 there is basically so we don't have to count all of this going down, because still potentially we could have went up one too many when we were doing this, when explaining. So I wanted to make sure that we have done everything correctly, and because we're all the way to the right and in line with it, with the correct amount of numbers that I have said, that means we've just done everything correctly. Of course, obviously, long as this is correct, this little part here as well at the end, as it should be looking like that, and then you've done that going down there and you have connected, then yes, everything is correctly. And once again, once we have done everything though, we are going to zoom out and have a look at what we've done today. Which, I hate zooming out as usual. But as you see, there we go, there's everything done today. So there is a lot of points that we do have to go off next, as you can see, but most of the points we'll be connecting back to. So in the next build for the next part, which is probably going to be show you Hinata for the next tutorial, because I know we're meant to upload one build and then do that daily. It's just, as you know, with the method, I had like 5 builds at once, so I'm just trying to get them a bit quicker by doing like 2 at once kind of at the moment. So that's the vibe I'm kind of running at the moment, and they're both very close to finishing. But again, back on with the build. For the next part, we're going to be doing the face outline and the mouth there, which I don't know if we'll be doing all the face. We'll probably do half the face, because we might get on to the eyes or nose potentially as well. But again, without further ado, that's the end of today's video. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe as well if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. So enjoy the rest of your day, and peace out.